So I'm going to show you guys how to add oral admin into your math problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a couple of tools. One is this Chromevox classic extension. So Chromevox is what Chrome uses as a screen reader. So if your student is on a laptop or on a Mac like I am, the Chromevox extension is what can do the oral administration. Um, it'll read the screen basically is what it does. So now if the student is on a Chromebook, they can turn on the Chromebook's screen reader, which is part of the device itself. So they would have to go down to the bottom right and then go into the settings. But I can create a video to show you all how to do that if that's something you want to do. And then also on the iPad, it has its own screen reading app. So, or not app, but it's part of the device itself. So we can turn it on. So as long as there's some kind of a screen reader, a text-to-speech reader on the device, this will work. What I showed you. Okay, so now I did 4 ahead of time just to kind of show you what it would sound like, and also what I'm doing since I'm using Chromevox. Right now I have it toggled off. So a really quick way that I'm doing this is by going to Chrome://extensions, and then I'm just going to toggle it on and off because it does read everything, and it's going to get kind of annoying if I left it on. So I just went ahead and turned it off, and then I'm going to turn it on as we go along. But so the first example, let me zoom into it, is this one right here. So in this question, I just typed it in, 2 + 3 =, right? And then I have the answers down here. In this one, I used LaTeX, which is what I'm gonna show y'all. And then this one, I typed it in. This one I used LaTeX, and then this one I typed it in also. Okay. Now I'm going to show you I'm going to turn on the screen reader so that way you guys can hear what it sounds like, each one of these examples.
Math problems.
Okay,
Schoology. Tab.
Okay, so when I click on this one, it's going to give me a orange border, and that's how I know what it's going to read.
2 + 3 = form.
Okay, so that didn't sound too bad. It said 2 + 3 =. Okay, so equal it wasn't plural.
A. Radio button unselected. 5.
Okay, that wasn't too bad.
Selected. A. Radio button selected. 5.
Okay, not too bad. So now let's listen to this one.
2 + 3 =.
Okay, this one sounded a little bit better. It said 2 + 3 =. Okay, so it was plural.
A. Radio button unselected. 5.
Okay, that's not too bad. Let's hear this one.
3 < 4.
Okay, that was really good.
Selected. True.
Okay, that one was really good.
Radio button unselected.
Okay, now let's hear a fraction.
Is 3/4 less than 1/2?
Okay, so this one actually asked the question, is 3/4 less than 1/2? So that's, I'll show you how I got it to do that.
A. Radio button unselected. True.
Okay.
Is 3/4 less than 1/2?
Okay, so that one was a little different. Is 3/4 less than 1/2? Okay, so that kind of sounded a little different.
Is 3/4 less than 1/2?
Okay, so this is better than this one.
Is 3/4 less than 1/2?
Okay, the slash, we don't want it to do that. We want it to...
Is 3/4 less than 1/2?
To sound exactly how we want it to.
3 < 4.
That one wasn't so bad.
2 + 3 =.
Okay, equals.
2 + 3 =.
Equal, and it kind of cut off. Okay, so this one sounded good. This one sounded good. That one was no good. This one didn't sound so bad, but this is what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to show you how to use LaTeX. Actually, no, the equation. I'm going to show you how to use the equation feature on the questions to do this, to make it sound nice, and then how to tweak it so that way it says exactly what you want it to do. Like, for example, on this one, I wanted it to sound like a question. Is 3/4 less than 1/2? I want it to sound just like that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Let me zoom out of this really quick. And then so while I'm messing with this, I'm going to come over here and
Extensions tab.
I'm going to turn off Chromevox so that way it doesn't get annoying. Okay, so right now I am in the test quizzes. So you can do the same exact thing with an assessment, but right now I'm just doing a test quiz, okay? So I'm going to go back into it, and I am going to create a new problem. So I'm going to do just a very simple math problem, just like this. 2 plus 3 equals, okay? So add a question. I'm going to make it a multiple choice. So for this one, I'm going to say 5 plus 3, okay? So now I could just do this. Oops, 5 plus 3, right? And that will read pretty good except for the equal sign. That was the one that said 5 plus 3 equal. So it just said equal. It doesn't say equals, plural. So to get it to do what we want it to do, instead of just writing it right there, you can come over here to the insert content tool, which is this little square with the down arrow. And then in here you have this equation function. So then in the equation function, here's where you can add your problem. So you can say 3, and instead of just typing it in like that, you can come over here. You have your operators in here, relationships, equations, okay, arrows. So if you're doing geometry, miscellaneous, you can do subscripts or superscripts. Okay, so in here, equals, or actually, no, that's not. I was going to do plus 3 plus 5 equals. And I actually forgot the 5, so I'm going to type in the 5. Okay, so 3 plus 5 equals. Okay, so I'm going to insert. So here's the problem. Okay, so now if I read it right now, and I'm going to turn on Chromevox just so that way you can hear what it says.
Create multiple choice question. Schoology tab.
Okay.
Extensions tab.
Okay, let me turn it off. So we're actually going to have to. So we're actually going to have to type it all out. Okay, so I'm going to create the question. Oh, I have to have a correct answer. Okay, create the question. So here's one we just created. Let's preview it. Start new attempt. Here's the question. I'm going to turn on Chromevox so it'll read it to us.
Math problems. Schoology tab. \large 3 plus 5 equal.
So that you hear it's a
Form.
\large 3 plus 5 equals.
\large 3 plus 5 equal.
That doesn't make any sense at all. So let me tell you why it does that. When we
Extensions tab.
when we use the equation tool, or that little insert tool, it inserted extra characters for us that it thought we wanted. I'm going to go back in here into edit. Now to see what the extra characters are, because they're written inside the language itself, to see what it gave us, over here on the right you have this little white button, and when I hover over it, it says switch to HTML. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on it, and here's what it did. Okay, the P, this is called markup language. The P just means this is a paragraph. Okay, so this is an opening tag is what it's called, and then the one that has a slash in front of it, that's the closing tag. So it's just like a bracket. Everything inside of here is a paragraph. Now inside of this, then we have even more tags. Okay, we have this one that's an open bracket, and then it says img, so it's an image, and the source, src, the source of this image is, and then here is the actual language of that, the 3 plus 5 that we created. Okay, this is what it looks like. Now, this is the important one, the one that I really want you to look at. So the one that says alt equals, okay, so alt means alternative. So alternative means that's what the screen reader is going to read. So anything after the alt equals, and in the parentheses, this is what the screen reader reads right in here, between these little parentheses. Okay, so after this tag, or actually this is not a tag, this is an attribute. So after the alt attribute, this is what it's going to read. So that's why it was saying \large 3 plus 5 equals. So in here we can actually get rid of that because that's just what it's reading. So now it's going to read 3 plus 5 equal. So if I wanted to say equals, I'm just going to put equals plural like that. Okay, so that's I'm going to hit save. Okay, so now let's go back into it. So I'm going to preview it, start new attempt. Okay, this is the one that we're working on right now. Let me turn on Chromevox.
Chrome. Math problems.
Okay,
Schoology.
so now I'm going to click on it.
Tab. 3 plus 5 equals.
Okay, so now it tells
Form.
us 3 plus 5 equals. Okay, so
Extensions. Tab.
I'll show you what else we can, just so that way you can understand that, yeah, it really does tell us whatever we want it, or it'll say whatever we want it to say. So I'm going to click here, I'm going to edit, I'm going to go back into this little HTML after the alt, right? After the alt, so right now it says 3 plus 5 equals. So let's say I'm just messing around. 3 plus 5 equals anything you want it to be. Okay, so this is just to mess around. So if you wanted to put a student's name in there, maybe to refocus their attention, maybe it's a student with ADHD, or maybe it's a student on the autism spectrum, and you want to cue them back into their work, you can do things like that. And it's a really neat little, I don't want to say it's accommodation, but it's an adaptation that does focus them back to what it is that they're supposed to be working on. Okay, so I'm going to hit preview, start a new attempt. And since I wanted to read, I'm going to come back over here, turn on Chromevox.
Math problems.
Okay, so now I'm going to
Schoology. Tab.
hit this.
3 plus 5 equals anything you want it to be.
Okay,
Form.
so that's how we do that.
A. Radio button unselected. 8.
Okay, so we can also do the same thing with the answers. So let me
Extensions. Tab.
turn this off. I'm going to come over here, come back into my questions. So let's say I wanted to do that with the answers. I'm going to edit. Okay, so we were messing with that, right, with the little HTML thing. So let's say we wanted to do the same thing with the answers. So over here on the right, as long as you hover over the little box, right, you see this little pencil icon, and then it tells you use rich text editor. Okay, so drop that pencil down, and here's where you can see the same tools. So in here, if you wanted to do the same thing, click on the box, equation, put your number 8, insert it. So here's the number. So now I'm going to switch it to HTML, and then here's the markup language, and here's the alt. That's what I was looking for. See how now it did the \8? We don't want that, because that's what the screen reader is going to read. Okay, so I just deleted that, and I'm going to put is 8 is one of the choices. What do you think? Or we can say, yeah, let's say it's me. I'll just say, Al, do you think 8 is the right answer? Okay, so let's tell it to read that. I'm going to hit save. Okay, here it is. I'm going to hit save the question. I'm going to preview it. Start the new attempt. Okay, so this is the one we want to read. So let me turn on Chromevox.
Math problems. Schoology. Tab.
Okay, so here's the question. I'm going to click on
3
it.
plus 5 equals anything you want it to be. Form.
I want to hear this.
A. Radio button unselected. All. Do you think 8 is the right answer?
Okay, so it said all. Do you think 8 is the right answer?
A. Radio button unselected. All. Do you think 8 is the right answer?
Okay, so that's how you can do
Extensions.
let me turn
Tab.
this off. That's how you can customize it to say whatever it is you want it to say. But I forgot to show you, which is pretty important, is how to create the fractions. Okay, so let's say I'm going to add a fraction. I'm going to go to add question. I'm going to make this a true-false one. And let's say I wanted to ask it if 3/4 was less than 1/2. Okay, so in here I click in it, go to insert content, go to my equations, and then I can do, 3/4 less than 1/2. Okay, so here's my problem. I'm going to insert it. And so the answer is false. Okay, so I'm going to create the question. Now, if I read it, okay, I'm going to read it to you right now so you can see what it does.
Chromevox math problems. Schoology.
Preview it.
Math.
And I'm going to go down to the problem.
Math problems. Schoology. \large \frac left brace 3 right brace left brace for right brace less than \frac left brace 1 right brace left brace 2 right brace.
So that is not at all what I had hoped for. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go to extensions.
Extensions tab.
I'm going to turn that off. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to tell it what to say. So I'm going to leave. Okay, I'm going to come back over here, edit. We're going to have to, again, go into, yeah, this is the one we were in. Okay, 3/4 less than 1/2. We're going to have to tell it exactly how to read this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to HTML again, and I'm going to look for the alt attribute. Okay, so here it is right here, alt. So now this is the open quotation mark. And then I'm going to scroll all the way to the close quotation mark. So all of this stuff, that's what it was reading. So what I wanted to read is 3/4 less than, or actually as a question, I can say is 3/4 less than 1/2. Okay, so that's what I wanted to read. Hit save. Okay, there it is. So now let's preview it. Start a new attempt. I'm going to turn on my Chromevox.
Math problems.
Okay, so here it is right here.
Schoology.
So now I'm going to click
tab.
on it.
Is 3/4 less than 1/2?
Okay.
Form.
That's exactly
Selected.
what I want.
True. Selected. False. False. Is 3/4 less than 1/2?
Okay, so that's how you can get it to say what you want it to. So really it's a matter of going into, let me go back into the questions. It's a matter of going into the question, edit. Yeah, it's a matter of going into the question and then changing it over to the HTML and then look for that alt attribute, and then everything in the little, when that print, when the quotation mark right afterwards, so everything within that quotation mark and this closing one, that's what it's going to read. Anything inside that alt, okay? So whatever you put on there, it's going to read, and that's how you can add that oral admin to it. And then if you want to switch back to the problem, just click the little dot again. You're back over here, and you should be good. Okay, so I'm going to save question, and all right, if you need anything else, just let me know.